Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt
And
Rose.
I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
We are here with our new edition of Big Brother 28 live feed spoilers. And we just got to tell you guys, the last couple of hours of feeds have been electric. Like, they have
Mhm.
really, for the first time all season, started to make me believe that there is a legitimate chance that Barrett is going to do something that the icons do not want him to do.
Is he actually going to do it? I mean, Barrett is somebody who has just done everything that the icons have said.
Mm,
So, is he really, really going to go through with this? And I just have to be like, I don't know. As Lauren from last season, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, he hasn't done anything yet to show me that he's got a spine to do so.
yeah, actions speak louder than words.
Yes, and when it comes to Barrett and Drew, these two, I need both of them to actually take action or I'm not believing it anymore.
What I actually at least will say for now is that for really, like we said, the first time all season, Barrett has disagreed in a group setting with something that D has said.
Yep.
He has pushed back. He has
Yep.
shown real emotion, like real anger. Like Barrett is legit upset. And because of all of that, he could actually alter the entire course of the game. No pressure, Barrett.
But before we get into that, I just want to take a minute and be like, we lost Dolly Parton and Tim Curry within like days of each
I
other.
know.
It's so heartbreaking. Dolly Parton, I mean, what an icon. And for me, Tim Curry, I mean, he's one of my all time favorite actors. I have seen Clue an unhealthy amount of times. I'm the person that paid to see all of the different endings in the theater, even though it was really just like the last 10 minutes of the film. I used to be part of the Rocky Horror Picture Show cast that used to like play in front of the screenings of the Bloor Cinema in Toronto. I mean, Tim Curry losing Dolly Parton, it was shocking. It was shocking. I know that they're 80. I know that Tim wasn't doing that well. I know that Dolly wasn't doing that way, but like, man, what a loss.
Yeah, it's really hard that these things kind of tend to happen in quick, fashion like this. And I grew up in North Texas, and like I was never a huge country music person, but at the same time, like Dolly like transcended any genre. I went to
Yep.
Dollywood when I was a kid, and you
Jealous.
it was really cool. Like I still have good memories of it. And I'm an interesting person, and I've talked about this before. I'm an elder millennial. I grew up in like the 90s Nickelodeon cartoons. So my introduction to Tim Curry was actually this animated show called The Wild Thornberrys, where he played Nigel. And it wasn't until later that I saw Clue for the first time. And it was only because of you I knew that this movie had like a million different endings.
It's so good. This film is awesome. If you guys haven't actually seen it and you're the one out there that hasn't seen it, please go check it out. It's so fun.
It is so unbelievably fun.
Anyways, I know this isn't Big Brother related, but I just wanted to like have a moment for anyone else out there that might want to talk about losing these two icons. You're welcome to chat with us in the comments about it.
Yeah, we really do appreciate that. And we're so grateful to everyone watching all season.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just start with the origin point here to where we get to this point where it feels like Barrett is actively contemplating, am I going to get rid of Drew, who was at one point a final two for me? Like, am I going to do whatever I can to keep Mallory in this game?
Yeah, I mean, we have seen him turn on Drew in the past, but it was with the icons where, this time it's seemingly without the icons, but is he actually really willing to pull the chute and, jump the plane? I don't know.
Please, Barrett. Okay, we will get to pleading to you, Barrett, more later on in this video.
I will not.
I will get to pleading with you later on in this video, but it all begins with the icons having a lot of conversations. It started last night. It really went into this morning of, okay, well, do we want to blindside Drew and Barrett with what we want to do here in this situation where, let's say, we have decided we're going to get rid of Mallory. We
Right.
don't necessarily need them in order to do this. So are we going to tell them? And Devon's at first was like, okay, let's just blindside them, we'll ask for forgiveness later. It really sat on Dee overnight into today, and she started to really be like, okay, we need to find a way in order to tell them, in order to make it clear to them what's going on.
He's 100% right. Devins was 100% wrong. That was absolutely going to lose the loyalty of Barrett and Drew at that point. It
Mhm.
was just, it was not going to work out.
Yeah, I think they had the right idea, and we do need to tell them because we do need to get ahead of our story here,
Yes.
especially if it's a situation where Drew ends up winning the blockbuster
Right.
and then it is Mallory versus Taylor. We're going to get rid of a mosh pit member versus someone who's not even in it. The problem comes down here to a couple of different things. I think it starts a little bit with messaging because there was at one point talk of, okay, we're going to get all of the crossovers together tonight and we're going to tell them tonight. It'll be sort of this big group setting. But then Haley, who is a part of some of these conversations that were going on throughout the morning,
Mhm.
accidentally just tells Drew the truth before any of this can happen. And it wasn't until Drew left that Devins was like, you know what you just said to him, right?
Well, you know what? That's their own fault. The icon shouldn't have told Haley. Haley is somebody who has let things slip. She is not really part of it the way that, there's the five of them with the icons with Barrett and Drew. To tell Haley that that's going to be happening before you're talking to Barrett and Drew and they already know that they're at the bottom of this, I can see why everybody's getting pissed off.
The funniest thing about it to me was that Haley, after all this, was like, oh, I need to go and clear this up. I'll go find Drew. And then she goes and finds Drew, and then she says it wrong again. And then she continues to slip up. So Drew already has this inkling. It's like, oh, okay. So Taylor is going to stay then. All right. Mallory is then going to go, and she's going to be evicted this week. Okay.
Well, yeah, and I mean that not only should he be worried about that, but at this point, if he was ever thinking of throwing the blockbuster, it is not time to do that anymore because if he does end up there with Taylor, it's not a good situation for Drew. He needs to really fight for this.
Yeah, I mean, especially now after everything that's happened today. And like Devins tried to clean things up with Drew after the whole Haley situation and laid out the case for keeping Mallory and sort of just said, it's just not good for me. Like, it's not good for me to keep somebody in this game who's gonna come after me. And like Drew, at that point, he seemed to be okay with it. Like Devins proposed it, not necessarily in the oh, all of the icons have decided this. It was more of a, we're really thinking a lot about this, and we're really wondering because Devins is trying to make himself seem like he is independent from D because that's been the way they've been able to actually dominate and work a lot of this season so far.
And that works really well for Drew because I think like while Devins and Drew are not each other's number ones, in some ways I feel like in Drew's heart, Devins is his number one.
Yeah, and I think Drew looking at Devins like this sort of father figure, like it is what has warped Drew's mind out of control this week, like even more so than any other point where he is just like frustratingly beyond belief, all in on the crossovers. He's at this point where Devins is trying to do a smart thing and even be like, so Drew, how should we break the news to Barrett? How should we tell Barrett? Making it feel
Yep.
like Drew has some sort of say, like that's what you
Yes.
need to do with these allies. If you're pitching an idea, you want to make it feel like they're like collectively a part of it, that they're not just finding out about it later.
Especially because Drew is on the block
Yes.
by the crossovers. Like D has put him there. So it's a way to make him feel like not only are you safe, but you really are part of us.
Yeah, so here is where everything starts to get really, really chaotic. Is that I think Barrett has had some concerns that he has talked through in his head over the past day or two. And like one of them, this is just a theory, is that I think he has really paid attention to how much Drew is suddenly all about the icons all the time, rah, rah. And I think he has looked at the mirror a little bit and been like, has this been me? Have I been like this entire game? This is really annoying.
Well, it's interesting that he's seeing it because I said that in yesterday's video that Barrett and Drew have been playing the exact same game. And I think that Barrett deep down and Drew deep down knows that the other person is playing the same game where they're dedicated to the icons and all they're doing is funneling information and doing anything that they want. Whenever something happens and they're both in the room, it's a race to which one of them is going to be getting to the icons to spill it first. And I had really felt like if one was going to turn on the other,
Mhm.
it would probably be Barrett trying to get out Drew so that there can only be one and it would just be him.
So he is in this position where even before he talked with the icons today, he was having a conversation with Melody and he was like, you know what, Melody? I'm telling the icons that I'm going to keep Drew over Mallory, but that's not really the case. I want to have a conversation with Yash about it. And at this point, I was fully into that exact state of mind that we've been in all season, where I was just like, I'm not sure I believe you. You have kind of hinted the opposite to all of us live feeders over the past couple of days.
Yep.
Great that you're saying this, but where's the juice here, Barrett? Like, why are we
Hmm.
going to get fully on board with you with this idea?
Yeah.
Then, though, things start to shift a little bit because he gets into the room, specifically the gym, with the icons. And at first, the icons are there except for Angela, Haley's. It's really, really quiet. It's one of those feelings when you go into a room and everybody seemed like they were talking. And then the moment you show up, it just suddenly feels like really, really weird and awkward.
Yeah, and for Barrett, I mean, that doesn't really ever happen with the icons. They really do just loop him in on everything. He
Yeah.
has been a really good soldier all season for them.
He has, and I think that is really the core of a lot of the frustration that we're getting to, because eventually Haley leaves and it's just Dee and Devins with Drew and Barrett. And, Dee and Devins, they try to work their magic where they're sort of just saying, for our game, it just makes all this sense to get Mallory out. Like, if she wins HOH Drew Barrett, like, FAP, that's suddenly going to be your guys' best path forward. It's not going to be working with us, the icons. It's like technically nothing that Devins and D said to the two of them was wrong. Like, we know Mallory would try to go after the icons.
Yes.
Like, from that vantage point, everything is really, really right. And it's hard for Drew or Barrett to argue this at all.
No, I think that they are aware. They've had those
Mhm.
conversations with Mallory, whether or not Mallory's like, "Oh, for now we'll all work together," whatever. It all kind of went out the window the minute that D put her on the block. Like there are two mosh pit members sitting on the block on D's HOH. That should have never happened.
And that is exactly what Barrett said. And Barrett was legitimately mad. Like we could see on the feeds him fuming, like a little bit of
Yep.
steam coming out of his ear. It's like he's not yelling at these people, but you could just read it all over his face. And he just started to immediately push back on some of these arguments they were bringing up, including that Mallory is more likely to win competitions than Taylor, where he was just like, they've both won competitions.
Yes.
So, miss me with this whole argument that, oh, Mallory is a bigger competition threat than Taylor. Because he was also like, Taylor's also going to probably put you guys on the block. So
Yes, she will.
I think he's trying to frame this argument of, I am the glue that can kind of keep everyone together. You didn't have to do any of this because in the event Mallory had gotten an HOH, like maybe I could have done something to actually keep you guys safe.
Yep.
I think the thing that's probably making Barrett the most mad, and he did vocalize this, is just that he feels like he wasted all of this time, that he put all of this effort into getting Melody and Mallory on board
Yep.
with this mosh pit, just for it to feel like Dee was playing in his face the entire time, that this was just some elaborate plan. And now he feels really, really silly. And he told them that. He was just like, I feel like I have been burned. I feel
Yep.
like I have been played.
Yeah, and you have been, but you have been all season. You had trying to get a power, D standing beside you and making you dance and puppet to America
Mm.
for a power. And you think
Yes.
that this is the worst thing that's happened to you? I don't think it gets much more embarrassing than that.
I legitimately hope his eyes are open because, he tossed away this HOH in the garbage. He was fine with D getting it, and he's had to slowly realize the consequences of his actions, where he was already upset before he was told in this conversation that they would get rid of Mallory over Taylor.
Mhm.
And this is quite possibly the biggest piece of evidence that Barrett may actually be flipping. He told them straight up, I'm not doing that. I am not getting rid of Mallory over Taylor. I'm voting to keep her. I appreciate you guys telling me you can do whatever you want, but I'm not going to be one of those votes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I mean, is there still time for D or the icon, specifically more D, to be actually able to turn that around? Yes, there is enough time. It's not until tomorrow. There's 24 full hours for her to start cuddling Barrett, kissing Barrett, hanging out with Barrett. Like, there's all kinds of ways to turn this around.
I think the other thing that made Barrett upset, beyond the fact that, oh, he's suddenly being told now, like, more than days after the veto ceremony, that, oh, Mallory's actually going to be a real target here,
Mhm.
is this notion that Drew was totally acting like a hype man throughout this entire meeting. It felt like he did know this information before
Yeah.
Barrett, but he did a pretty bad job of hiding it and making it look like he wasn't pro every single thing that they were saying. So I think he probably started to feel like, okay, so I really am number 5 in all of this. You guys do care a lot more for Drew now than you do me.
Oh, come on. Okay, Barrett. Drew is on the block. What is it that you expect Drew to say? You kind of have to look at it with a little more nuance. Look at the whole picture. Drew is on the block. He could go home tomorrow if he doesn't agree with the icons. Look at what he had to do when he was nominated to take the target off, which you knew about, Barrett. So, like, it cut the guy some slack.
Barrett just thought he could have his cake and eat it too, where that he could go really, really far in the game with the crossovers and keep Mallory and keep this other person who could be a fallback or a plan B or somebody who, at least I think, if there was ever a chance that somebody could get D out of the game and it not be him, because he probably doesn't want to do that. But if Mallory goes ahead and does that, hey, it's not something he has to do. I think he just deep down doesn't like this possibility being taken away from him.
Right, which is why D is taking it away from him. And it is why the icons need to take it away from him. Because if he's going to stand up this hard for Mallory right now, then everything that D was afraid of like, oh, there'll end up being 4 of them and 3 of us, and that's what she's expressed, is 1,000% correct. And she's making the right choice. And Barrett basically just confirmed it.
So in the aftermath of this meeting, another question, all right, is he going to go tell and spill this to people? And the answer is yes, to an extent.
Yeah.
He told some of this to Mallory, but he made it seem more like it was all Devin's ideas and not so much D, not so much Angela. So like clearly he's trying to prepare for a situation where if everybody stays, he's not getting like completely and utterly exposed, but he's giving Mallory the information that, oh, you may actually be in real danger versus Taylor. And then he's going and saying a lot of the same things to Yash as well. And Yash has a lot of information. He hasn't told Barrett everything that he knows at this point, but Yash has been talking a lot with D this way. And Yash made it very clear that he's also been trying to play the icons to the best of his ability over the past few days without like mentioning all the details when it comes to the bride.
Yeah.
So here is the hypothetical blue sky hopeful scenarios that we are now getting into, provided Barrett actually does stick to something and grow a little bit of a spine in the next 24 hours.
Yes.
So in the event Mallory does win the blockbuster and we are with Drew and Taylor, if Barrett realizes Drew is just pure crossovers this whole time, he's never really going to do it. This is the time to get Drew out and make a huge change for my game, which it feels like he's relatively contemplating. He, Melody, Mallory, Lala, and Yash, they could take Drew out. Like, they can just get Drew out of the game, which entertainment-wise, like, man, this would change everything this season.
It absolutely would. If everybody then is willing to work together, then you really just have the icons and Haley, and you have everybody else on the other side.
Yeah, and if Taylor wins the blockbuster and then we are Drew versus Mallory, Barrett, Melody, Taylor, Lala, and Yash, they could get together and get rid of Drew in that scenario as well.
And that is beneficial to their game if Barrett is really done with the icons. If he's doing this so that he can continue to play both sides, he's living in, dreamland at this point. There is no way that he is able to continue to ride the middle this way.
Yeah, now, if Drew wins the blockbuster, it's pretty much over for Mallory in this scenario.
Yes.
Because it's like, Lala and Yash, they're not getting rid of Taylor and the
No.
icons. It's like, they've already made it clear where their allegiance is. But, like, if Barrett does, in fact, really think about all this, decide, I'm close to the jury. If my goal was just to be on jury, I have a really good chance of doing that. I have to actually make a move. He's got a 2 out of 3 chance of really pulling something off this week.
Yes.
And that is very exciting. Also for Taylor, it seems like she's in a much better position without even having to really do that much to shake it up herself.
Yeah, she is in a pretty good position right now. And it's all because the icons are being a little too sneaky for their own good.
Yes.
If you're really working with Drew and Barrett, then you need to really be working with them. You can't leave something until the day before the
Yes.
vote and then tell them.
As I said, please, Barrett, this is my plea. Actually, listen to your Big Brother superfan heart. We'll see what happens,
Yeah.
but that is where we are with this edition of Big Brother 28 live feed spoilers. Do you guys think Barrett is actually going to wake up, or is he just going to revert back to spineless Barrett and do whatever it is the icons want?
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking it's going.
Well, thank you guys so much. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other updates, and we will see you here next time.